a declaration of what already is. The moment you inwardly accept something as true, regardless of outer appearances, you set in motion unseen forces that begin aligning everything around you to mirror that internal truth. Life begins to organize itself around your inner state. Events begin to shift. People begin to appear. And circumstances begin to respond as though they are answering a silent command, because they are. Every great transformation, every healing, every breakthrough does not begin with what is done, but with what is believed. When you believe from the core of your being, without reservation, you do not just hope.
All right, so we're listening to Neville Goddard, and we're going to continue the organizing. I'm going to continue with the section that I said, and I'm showing you guys. Yeah, and let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, this I don't want to break my thing. All right, and we're going to listen to some of this while we're doing that at the same time. So yeah.
That something good might happen. You live as if it already has. That is the mysterious yet undeniable power of inner conviction. It reshapes the landscape of your experience without resistance, because it no longer needs permission from the world to be true. It already is. And what is assumed to be real inwardly must eventually take shape outwardly. The world, though it seems fixed and absolute, is incredibly malleable to the hands of the soul.
There we go. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Let's go. We are doing the whole organizing thing, starting from top to bottom, doing the same strategy from before, putting all the Ziplocs together and just tearing through the plate. Interesting. 0 calorie sweetener, I don't know. Barbecue sauce? Alright. It's nothing like going shopping in your own kitchen and finding things that I feel like they don't make SpaghettiOs like they used to. It just doesn't taste the same to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it my taste buds, or did they change the formula? Because I feel like it used to taste so good, or maybe the idea of it. I don't know. I really don't believe in all that stuff changing. I think it is what it is. It might be a different formula. It might be the tomatoes. It might be anything. So I'm not really. I don't really eat it like that anyway, but I wouldn't mind making it for the children. I think they liked it, so as long as they like it, that's fine, right? I'm gonna put this in my closet. This goes in the closet. Put it in the closet. Good morning, guys. Hi, Harlem. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Good morning, guys. You getting ready for work? Did everybody enjoy their Juneteenth? Yeah, so let's go. God is good. We are blessed and highly favored. I'm telling you, this is a time in history that we need to really appreciate what we have and not feel like we got to realize how good we have it and then do something about it. Seriously. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I'm going to turn this up a little louder because I can't really hear it. So enjoy your meditation and all that stuff. Let's get it. All right, let's go. I remember I used to do my workouts. I used to listen to. Do you guys remember I did my workouts? I would go live doing my workouts. This is a bubble maker. You can make your own soda. So I have that, and we have water, and you just add the carbon in it, and it makes your drinks taste like soda, carbonate. Instead of me buying salsa water, I'm just gonna use this. So that is gonna go in the closet here. And I'm so happy I cleaned out the closet. So it's like, oh, actually, you know what?
It will go where hands cannot go.
We got cake.
It will speak where your voice cannot be heard. It will prepare paths, dissolve obstacles, solve the hearts, and call into existence everything needed for your purpose to be fulfilled.
Avocado oil
Resting in
spray.
divine assurance is not the absence of action, but the presence of deep inner stillness. It is the quiet confidence that all things are unfolding exactly as they should, even when the path ahead is unclear.
Vanilla extract.
This rest does not come from
I just
external
want everything
circumstances
accessible when I
being
need to look for
It
my
emerges
stuff.
from a heart that knows it is already held, already protected,
Oh, snap.
already provided for. Divine
Oh, snap,
assurance
we got
is not a
cookies.
fleeting emotion that rises and falls.
Okay,
with
good. We
each
got some
increasing
cookies, we got
use or
snacks, we got
changing
desserts.
condition.
Perfect. I
It is a
love it.
fix knowing that the
This
one
is
who
why you
called
go
has
shopping in the
already
back of
written
your
every
own
chapter of
house,
your life with care,
and voila,
wisdom, and purpose.
look what you
It
can
is the
find.
complete surrender
You
of
got
the need to
Velveeta
control
cheese.
outcomes
Let's keep
because
that
you
in
finally
there.
realize that the highest intelligence
This
in
is a
existence
box
is already
cutter. I'm
orchestrating
guessing
your
what
life
that's
with
in there.
precision and love.
You always need
truly
it.
rest
You
in
do.
that
You really
assurance,
do.
anxiety
Alright, let's
loses
put the rest of this.
the need to
here.
manipulate, to force, to rush,
Let's do that.
disappears. You begin to flow with life rather than fight against it. Resting does not mean inaction, it means inspired action. Action that is born
Velveeta
not out of fear or
cheese,
panic, but out of
ice
peace
cream
and clarity.
cones.
It is the kind of rest
Put
that
that
allows
right next to
you
the
to be
ice cream
present.
maker.
Because your mind is no
Perfect.
longer chasing tomorrow, or haunted
Absolutely
by
perfect.
yesterday.
Sugar
You no
cones.
longer wrestle with outcomes because you trust the source. You no longer
Boom,
make the
kind of
provision
cleaning
because
as
you
I
know that the
go.
one who gave you the vision has already provided the means.
Starting from this section actually
This level of
works
trust
really
is not
well.
built overnight.
Hold on,
It
let
is
me talk
forged
to you
in the
guys.
fires of delay, uncertainty, and silence. It is the Starting from the corner actually is a great strategy for me. Thank you for the 100 likes. Appreciate you. Because it lets you focus on one area at a time. Even though as I'm thinking about all the things I want to get done and want to do, I want to do like everything and just tear through the whole house. But mentally I can do it, but physically it's another story. So by concentrating all that energy into one section, it satisfies my mind to think that I can get all that stuff done. But then when I actually go to do it, to concentrate on one area is amazing because I will have the satisfaction of actually completing a task. So I don't know if that's ADHD or ADD or whatever you want to call it. I really don't think so. But I think people just in general get bored. Who wants to be bored all day, whether you have a thing or not? So this is working for me. If it works for you, let's go. I called my friend up yesterday and we strategized what we were going to do. She came over here last time and helped me, and she was here literally to 2 a.m. pushing herself. So get a friend, get some music, play something that's going to keep you going, and just push through that and watch this video. Come live with me and you'll get motivation so we can organize together. All right, so let's do it. I'm going to continue. Let's go. Just wanted to share that with you guys. developed when everything around you seems to contradict what you've been promised.
All right.
And yet you continue to believe.
This
It's
jar,
in
I'm
those
gonna
moments that your
repurpose
soul
this
learns
jar.
to lead. Not on the seen, but on the unseen. To
I've
rest
got-
in divine assurance is to stop
I'm gonna go
interpreting
do that
life
later.
based on what your eyes
I'm gonna
can
make
see,
it like those.
and start interpreting it through the lens
I'm
of
gonna
divine truth. It is believing that even what looks like a detour is
organize my
still part of the
soul.
plan. Even what feels like a loss is being used to gain. Even what seems to be withheld is really being prepared in a way you cannot yet perceive. In this place of rest, fear has no voice. The noise of the world fades, and the whisper of God becomes clearer. You begin to hear the subtle nudges of your spirit. You start noticing the confirmations, the alignments, the timely encounters that were always
Boom,
there,
we did
waiting
it.
for
All
your
right,
eyes
this
to open.
is like
You stop
temporary.
reacting to life and start responding from a place of peace.
Even girl.
This divine rest becomes a foundation beneath your feet. You walk slower but more surely. You speak less but more powerfully. You move with grace because you are no longer rushing towards something, you are moving to something that is already true within. Inner rest is not
I want
complacency.
this on the
It is
floor.
spiritual strength.
I want this out my
It
way.
is the ability to say, I don't see it yet, but I know it's already
Put
there.
that in
You
here.
do not let the delay shake you. Because you understand that divine time is
It's
not
just
late.
nice to be able to
You
see
know how beautiful it is to sway you.
floor.
Because you are anchored in
It
a deep
mentally makes you feel
You can celebrate
good.
the way because you know the end from the beginning of the spirit. That assurance becomes your atmosphere. It becomes
Out of
the
sight,
posture
out
your
of-
soul. It's no longer about
Oh
hoping
yeah, this
things
looks
will work
so
out.
much better,
It's
guys.
about
Just
knowing they
looking
already
at
have.
that and
You're simply
seeing that
catching up
makes,
with what's already been decreed. Many people live with
just looking at that and doing that. So as you go to work or as whatever you're doing, you're getting ready to do your remote home thing or you're getting ready to go to work. Good morning, getting ready, all that good stuff. So, if you want to see more like in detail, let me explain and show you more of what I'm doing instead of just watching me do it like this. Let me know. What is that? Oh my God, it looks like. All right, it looks like a fruit or a vegetable or something was growing, but I'm throwing it away. We're not gonna concentrate too hard on what it is. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I'm gonna pretend I didn't even see it. That was weird. That was really weird. It looked like a piece of fruit or something, and it started to grow roots. That's what it looked like. All right, let's continue. And guys, stay tuned because we're finally gonna start streaming again. Once I'm done doing what I'm doing, there's so many things to do in the city that's happening, especially even this week. There's a Hermes horse search. Just look at my page. Look at what I repost. My friend sent him my Little Heaven sends to me, and I repost it. So she's awesome. Check her out. She's an amazing cosplayer. Oh, look at my measuring cup. Measuring cup, if you are a homeschool person, what you can do, you can teach your children how to cook, how to measure, and you can make it fun and interactive for them. So this is something that's an amazing idea that you can, use math and stuff in real life and apply it. And it even reminds you and teaches you, like, right? So you can do things like that. So let's go back into this.
Restless soul. They are constantly searching, striving, worrying, doubting. But the soul that rests in God is no longer restless. It does not fight for peace because it is peace. It does not search for safety because it is safe. It does not strive for love because it is loved. That kind of rest cannot be given by the world, and it cannot be taken by the world. It is a supernatural peace that surpasses understanding. And once it is found, it becomes your home, a resting place you return to, no matter what is happening around you.
Let's have some tea, guys. Who wants some tea? Let's have a tea break. This is a decaf, the tasty tea, decaf tea. Yeah, I have amazing friends who do things in the community, so always have amazing friends. It's your circle. Because guess what? I don't have to go out and buy tea or coffee or anything like that. Save time, energy, and focus on what I'm doing.
What belongs to you will not satisfy. You stop exhausting yourself trying to make everything happen. Because you understand that what is
I'm gonna add some lemon and put this on, and
find you at the appointed time, in the appointed place. Resting in divine assurance teaches you how to breathe again. It teaches you how to stand still and watch the unfolding. It teaches you to smile without needing a reason, to believe without needing a sign, to wait without growing weary. You become someone who walks through storms without being shaken, who sits in silence without growing anxious, who stands in uncertainty without losing faith. This rest becomes your power. It becomes the signal to heaven that you trust the process, that you trust the provider more than the provision, that you trust the unseen hand more than the visible path. Faith is alignment, not effort. Changes the entire way one approaches life and the promises of God. It shifts the focus from trying to make something happen.
I gotta see what I weigh right now. I really don't
what
know.
is already true to manifest. Most people associate faith with intense striving, with repeating declarations, looking tirelessly.
Let me go and do that and find out now. Let's do it now. Let me pause for a second. I'll be right back. So I just
You no
weighed
longer
myself
pull
and I
life
weigh
toward you. You welcome what is old.
206.1. So it's still pretty consistent. You're supposed to do it around the same time and stuff like that. Y'all. I don't know. Everyone tells me I don't even look like I weigh that.
Already being sent your way.
Whatever.
This
I don't
alignment
know.
also
Let it do
protects
what it do. I can't.
It guards your mind against the temptation to waver when things don't appear immediate. It keeps you from
But I do only
collapsing
weigh
under
125,
discouragement because your belief isn't based on outer confirmation.
Okay,
You can walk through contradiction and not be shaken because your compass is set internally. The moment you feel yourself slipping out of alignment, reacting in fear, speaking in doubt, seeing yourself as less than what God has called you, you return, not through effort, but through awareness. You realign by remembering. Pause, breathe, and return to the truth. The truth that all things are already yours in spirit, and that your only job is to agree with that truth so fully that it becomes flesh.
I like it.
Faith
Yes.
is not hard when alignment is present. It becomes like breathing. It becomes like a recognizes and sings along with. It no longer feels like a battle, but like a dance. You are not pushing against something, you are moving with something. And that movement becomes your power. Your prayers carry more weight. Your silence speaks louder than noise. Your decisions are sharper, clearer, less frantic, because you know who you are, and you know whose you are. And from that knowing, everything flows. Faith is not the pressure to believe hard enough for something to happen. It is the peace of knowing that everything has already happened in the invisible, and that by aligning yourself with that reality, you make it visible. God as the indwelling source is the most liberating truth a person can awaken to. It ends the exhausting search for power outside yourself and returns your attention to where the true creative force has always been within. When you come to understand that God is not distant, not watching from the clouds, not an external being to be chased or appeased, but the very life, breath, and intelligence flowing through you, everything changes. You stop living as someone separate from divinity, and you begin to live as someone animated by it. God is not far away deciding whether to bless you or not. God is the source of your thoughts, the silence behind your words, the vision behind your eyes.
Good morning, guys. Welcome.
Hi, we're Charity Water. If we lost you at Charity, we get it. Give us a moment to change your mind.
To recognize God as the indwelling source means you no longer beg for what you already carry. You no longer approach life as a powerless being needing rescue, but as a vessel of infinite wisdom, strength, and creativity. You do not collapse under circumstances because you know the source of all solutions is alive in you. You don't wait for heaven to intervene because you realize heaven is already rooted in your being, waiting to express itself through your consciousness. This recognition is not about arrogance. It is about alignment with truth. It is the humility of knowing that the light you shine is not your own, but the light of God shining through you. This divine presence within is not limited by time, space, or material law. It is not diminished by your past or your present struggles. It is constant, unchanging, eternal. And once you become aware of it, you begin to relate to life differently. You stop depending on other people to validate you. Because you know the creator of all things has already placed it inside you. You stop fearing lack, because the well of supply is already flowing within your soul. You stop feeling isolated or abandoned, because how can you be alone when the very presence of God breathes in your lungs and whispers in your heart? Understanding God as the source within redefines prayer. It is no longer a performance or a ritual aimed at persuading a reluctant deity. It becomes a communion, an awakening, a deep stillness where you
Oh, right in the garbage can.
You go within not to escape the world, but to remember your authority in it. Prayer becomes a place of remembering who you are in God, and who God is in you. From that remembering, you rise differently. You face challenges with a steadiness that does not come from external security, but from internal awareness. You carry peace that surpasses understanding, not because circumstances are perfect, but because your source is unshakable. This indwelling presence is not just a comforter, it is a creator. It is the very force that speaks things into being, that calls the unseen into the seen. And when you become aware of that power within you, you stop limiting yourself to what the world says is possible. You begin to dream bigger, speak bolder, move freer. You begin to understand that the same intelligence that designed the stars now flows through your ideas. The same power that parted seas now parts your obstacles. The same spirit that raised what was dead now breathes new life into your weary places. You don't have to chase miracles. You live as a walking miracle. Many are waiting for something outside to change before they feel peace, joy, purpose. But when you live from the inside out, when you know God is the source within, you no longer wait, you create.
You already track how far you've gone. The forecast each day, your packages, and your sleep. It's time for an easy way to track your glucose. Meet Stello, the powerful glucose biosensor available without a prescription. It tracks glucose.
Let's see here.
Exercise and even sleep can affect your glucose, helping you become a healthier.
You no longer fear the future because the one who authors it is speaking through your own spirit. You no longer shrink under pressure because your foundation is not built on sand, but on divine presence. And this presence never leaves, never lessens, never grows weary. It doesn't abandon you in confusion or need. It waits, it guides, it corrects, restores, empowers. Even in your lowest moments, the indwelling God does not retreat. You may feel lost, but God within you is not. You may feel weak, but the strength of God in you is untouched. That's the sacred mystery. Your emotions may fluctuate, your thoughts may wander, your confidence may falter, but the source within remains steady. It is your true anchor. The still voice that calls you back when fear rises, the peace that fills you when understanding fails, the wisdom that surfaces in silence. It is not separate from you. It is you, your highest self, your divine essence, your eternal spark. This is not merely a spiritual philosophy. It is a living truth that transforms how you speak, how you choose, how you wait, how you believe. You no longer have to seek what you already are. You no longer pray from separation, but from union. You don't try to earn what's already yours. You receive it, accept it, express it. The more you return to that awareness, the more you see life responding to your inner state. Things begin to shift, not because you manipulated circumstances, but because your alignment with the source within changes your frequency, your perception, your posture. God as the indwelling source frees you from the limitations of external dependence. You don't need everything around you to be calm, to be calm. You don't need applause to feel worthy. You don't need doors to open for you to feel called. You understand that what God is doing in you is more important than what is happening to you. You begin to carry yourself as someone already empowered, already filled, already chosen. And in that place you become a channel for divine flow, a vessel through which love, wisdom, healing, and power move effortlessly into the world. Imagination is the bridge to manifestation, not a poetic metaphor. It is the spiritual technology that transforms the unseen into the seen. Every visible thing exists. Every invention, every structure, every breakthrough first existed in the invisible realm of thought, and deep in the heart of imagination, the creative womb of the spirit. Imagination is where you meet the divine vision before it materializes.
Much better.
Where you see not with your physical
Wow.
eyes, but with the eyes of faith. It is not fantasy or escapism. It is the sacred language of your soul communicating with the universe. Rightly understood, imagination becomes more than a private date.
It's so
It
much
becomes
better,
the
guys.
first act of
Oh,
creation.
so much
It
better.
is the place where you experience in full color and emotion the reality that has not yet arrived. And because your soul does not know the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is physically seen, it responds as though it is already happening, sending signals through your body, your energy, your words, and your actions to match that inner vision. When you dwell in imagination, you are no longer bound by the restrictions of your current circumstances. You may live in a small space, but in imagination you walk through the house God has already given you. You may be facing a diagnosis, but in imagination you rise in health, strong and whole. You may be alone now, but in imagination you are surrounded by divine connection, by the love already destined for you. And this is not about pretending or denying reality. It is about choosing to anchor yourself in a higher truth, to begin living from the end rather than chasing it. Imagination allows you to feel the joy before the harvest, to express the gratitude before the breakthrough, to walk as one who knows rather than one who waits. This inner vision is not just a quiet comfort, it is a creative force. What you continually imagine begins to shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your behavior. Your behavior shapes your habits, and your habits shape your life. That is the divine progression. When you imagine with conviction and repetition, you are not just hoping, you are rehearsing. You are creating a new mental system. Your subconscious begins to accept as reality. And the more you live in that internal vision, the more your external life begins to bend to match it. You no longer chase manifestations. You align with them. You no longer try to force outcomes. You embody them until they happen. Imagination also becomes a place of divine encounter. It is in imagination that the voice of God often speaks the loudest, because the noise of logic and limitation has quieted. There the Spirit paints visions on the canvas of your soul, visions of who you really are, what you were born to do, what your future already holds. And if you dare to believe that what you see within is more real than what surrounds you, you begin to walk in a new level of authority. You stop asking if and start asking how. You stop doubting and begin preparing. You stop shrinking and begin expanding, because you understand that what you've seen within is not just a desire, it is a divine seed placed in you to grow. Your imagination is sacred territory. It must be guarded, because whatever dominates your imagination dominates your destiny. If fear takes root there,
Hey, thank you.
What you fear.
Hey, Amia
If
Garcia,
lack takes
welcome,
root
welcome.
there, your life begins to
Thank you for the
reflect.
follow. Appreciate
If
you.
hope lives
Appreciate
there,
you.
peace grows.
Yes.
If love lives there, healing flows.
All right, let's share this live.
Jackson Henn, of course, the founder of the
Put it on
design studio.
Discord.
I first started working. Jackson Henn, of course, the founder of the
Put it
design
on
studio.
Discord.
I first started working for. Jackson Henn, of course, the founder of the
Put it
design
on
studio.
Discord.
I first started working for. I first started working for. This studio.
I need to drink
The
water.
clients really find us. We
share
do work for
to-
clients, but at the end of the day, they look at us and they look at our portfolio and they look at who we are as a company, and that's what causes them to come to our door. I've worked with Ford. Our minds or think out
Morning,
loud.
everybody.
Really
Let's go.
take the client from the beginning, the startup phase, all the way to the finished product, the sample. We're really focusing in on their beliefs as a company. We focus on trying to be part of their company and not just focusing in on their beliefs as a company. We focus on trying to be part of their company and not just a design.
Trying to censor this video before more people discover the loophole that has already helped my husband and me win the lottery 29 times. Yes, I know it might seem crazy, but this new AI that predicts lottery numbers without relying on luck and in a 100% legal way is going viral on TikTok with over 12 million views. People are calling this the biggest lottery loophole of all time. My neighbor Julie was the first to tell me about this loophole after receiving her first Powerball prize of $92,000 last month. And since then, I decided to try it too. Seriously, just last week, I won the lottery twice. Finally, paid off all the debt I still had. Today, I no longer need to depend on my husband. But as a good wife, I also showed this to him so we could win the lottery together.
Now there is no more hiding. How did you manage to win 29 times while I can't even get a single number right?
Yesterday, we won $2,500 on pick 4. Here's the ticket.
That's yesterday's date, all right.
Apart from the other jackpots totaling $31 million, I've already shown you the lottery the cards I've received. The secret has nothing to do with luck. Have you ever noticed that there's a pattern in the lottery draw? And even if you buy tickets all your life, try your luck. It's always the same people who end up winning, like Miss Christina, who received more than $7 million after winning the lottery for the third time. And the man from Panama City Beach who won the Florida lottery 147 times, collecting $12.8 million in 15 months.
So is there like some kind of lottery mafia that controls the drawing and making fools out of all
All
of
right.
us?
Let's go back
It's
to.
because only those who know how to take advantage.
With this system flaw and transform our lives.
If divine vision lives there, miracles become normal. That is why you must be intentional about what you allow yourself to picture, to feel, to dwell on.
All right.
Because imagination is more than mental. It is spiritual. It is the space where you and God co-create reality. The moment you begin to imagine a new possibility consistently, you send a signal into the atmosphere. That signal is magnetic. It begins to draw to you the people, places, opportunities, and resources that align with your internal vision. But it also begins to repel what does not match that frequency. So don't be surprised when things fall away as you grow in vision. It is not loss, but alignment. The old must make space for the new. You are not just thinking differently, you are becoming different. And as you become, you attract differently. Because you are no longer aligned with who you were, but with who you are meant to be. Imagination also restores your sense of childlike faith. Children imagine without limits. They see castles in clouds, worlds in trees, victories in the simplest things. That is not foolishness. It is the purity of undrawn creativity. And as you return to that place, not childishness but childlikeness, you remember how to believe again. You remember how to feel joy before the answer. You remember how to see with your heart when your eyes see nothing. And that joy becomes strength. That belief becomes access. That vision becomes foundation. There are things in your life right now that may seem impossible. But if you can see them in your mind and feel them in your spirit, they are not only possible, they are already forming. What you are pregnant with in imagination is more real than what others can see with their eyes. Don't let anyone talk you out of what God has shown you in the secret place of your soul. Don't reduce your vision to match their doubt. Don't delay your manifestation by stepping out of agreement with what you've seen. Stay in that vision. Nourish it, speak to it, live from it.
All right, so we
Because
did
the
our
moment
little
your inner world becomes
workout
more
stretching.
powerful than you are, the conditions, the world around you will begin to bend to the truth you carry within. Trust is surrender, not control. It's the final gateway to spiritual rest.
I used to do that when I was in junior high
It's the place
school.
where striving ceases and
Let
peace
me tell
begins to
you,
flow.
I got in shape
It's where you
doing
no
that
longer
quick.
carry the
My
weight of
arms
the
were
outcome,
snatched.
but allow God
I mean,
to
already,
unfold what
you
has
know.
already been ordained.
But
So many people equate
let's do it
trust
again.
with a subtle form of control. They say they trust,
Actually, oh,
but only
okay.
as long as they can predict
It's not
how
bad.
things
I mean,
will
it's
happen,
not-
when they will happen,
whatever.
for whom they will happen. But that is not trust.
Anyway,
That
once this is
conditional belief.
whatever it needs to
Real
be,
trust
I
requires
feel
letting
like,
go of the need to manage every detail,
okay,
and
she
leaning
could
into
do
the
this.
truth that
Like,
what is meant
I
to
know
be
other
is
people
not
can do it
possible.
even at 50
It means
and
believing
whatever
that the
age
same
you are,
God who
but
planted the dream in your heart knows the
when I
exact
see
timing
it, then I'll be
mechanisms
like,
for it
okay,
to
that
come
tells
alive.
me
To surrender
what it
is
tells
not
me.
to give up.
Anyway,
It is
it's
to
already
move
done.
on.
All right, let's
You
go.
hand over the burden of
Let's
understanding
go,
to the one
let's
who sees the end from the beginning. You let go of timelines and allow divine timing to orchestrate the process. You release the anxiety of figuring it all out and instead become anchored in the presence of the one who already has. Surrender means you are no longer arguing with life, no longer resisting the current moment, but flowing with it, trusting that even the delays, the detours, the disappointments are being used in your favor. Surrender is not fantasy. It is powerful alignment. It is saying, God, I trust you more than I trust my fears. I trust you more than I trust my plans. I trust you more than I trust the evidence around me. In surrender, you become open to divine surprises. You make space for miracles because you're no longer holding on to one rigid path of how it must come to pass. You no longer lock yourself into one door, one connection, one answer. You begin to understand that God has options you haven't imagined, strategies that exceed logic and resources you've never seen. And when you loosen your grip on control, you become available to be led. You start hearing more clearly, moving more peacefully, responding more wisely, not because you know the future, but because you are rooted in the one who does. Trust is surrender. Also changes how you wait. Waiting is no longer an agonizing delay. It becomes a sacred preparation. You don't wait as someone desperate for rescue. You wait as someone expectant of fulfillment. You wait not in frustration, but in faith. The time between the promise and the manifestation becomes your training ground, not your punishment. It's where your roots go deeper, your clarity becomes sharper, your spirit becomes stronger. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, who am I becoming in the process? You realize that God is not just working on your circumstances. He's working in your character, in your vision, in your capacity to hold what you're asking for. Surrender also quiets the inner world. The conflict between what you see and what you believe no longer has power over you. You are no longer split between trust and fear, between peace and panic. You stop going back and forth in your mind, trying to predict every outcome. You stop exhausting yourself with questions that were never
My
yours
water
to
hit
answer.
the spot.
You stop clinging to doors that have closed and start embracing the truth that closed
Tea and
doors are
water were
divine
excellent.
protection. You stop begging for clarity and start walking with courage. Because surrender has become your song, and in that place you experience freedom. Not freedom from problems, but freedom from the illusion that you must control them all. There's a maturity that comes when you learn to rest while it's still raining. not weakness, it's spiritual mastery. It's the ability to smile while waiting, to love without certainty, to give without expecting, to trust even when the road is dark. That kind of trust cannot be faked. It is born through experience, through the seasons where you tried to control everything and burned out, through the moments where your plan failed but grace held you, through the days when you had nothing left but the whisper of faith in your chest. And somehow in all of that, God proved faithful. Not because things always turned out the way you wanted, but because you were held, guided, and sustained through it all. Surrender also makes room for intimacy. When you no longer come to God as a transaction, trying to earn, prove, or persuade, you begin to simply be. You begin to rest in His presence, not just seek His hand. You begin to love the giver more than the giver. You begin to crave peace more than answers. And in that sacred space, trust deepens. You don't need signs to believe. You believe because you've encountered love, and love never fails. You don't panic when things are silent, because silence no longer scares you. It comforts you because you know that even in the silence, God is moving.
If you're thinking about changing your career, I really recommend you pick a career where you can change other people's lives, because in changing their lives, you absolutely change your own life too. I'm not
Air conditioning is absolutely delicious.
RTT, my own brand of therapy, rapid transformational therapy. I created it because I knew what people wanted, having been a therapist for such a long time. I knew what my clients wanted, I knew what therapists wanted, and I saw the blessing of being a therapist.
As trust deepens, your posture in life changes. You walk into rooms differently. You speak with less fear. You let go quicker. You forgive faster.
Good rising.
You
It's
no longer
7
need to explain
a.m.
your process to everyone.
All right,
because
I'm
you
gonna
know
get my
who's guiding
daughter's
you.
hair ready.
You no longer need external
Thank you for joining
validation
me
to
this morning,
confirm your
guys.
steps, because your peace becomes your compass. You don't fight
Been
every
on for
battle.
39
You
minutes.
choose your energy
2 new
wisely,
followers.
knowing not every fight is yours to engage.
Claim.
You stop defending what God has already promised.
Oh,
to
I didn't
protect.
claim it
You
before. I
move from
thought it.
striving to flowing, from
Okay,
reacting
well, at
to
least went for 30.
responding,
Okay,
from
good. And I
trying to
claimed
impress
it.
people to
Boom.
simply expressing
Awesome.
yourself. You
All right,
carry a
guys.
quiet
Good
authority,
morning.
the kind that comes from someone who knows
I
that
will be
everything
back
they need
soon
is
for
already
streaming,
taken care of.
gaming, cooking,
Surrender
all
is
the
not
fun
moment,
things, all the
it is a
things. My mom and I are
lifestyle.
going to do a podcast later, so be tuned for that. Love you. See you later.